What's going on, everybody? Jim Biringer, John Restaino here. Let's Talk Pucks here on Let's Talk Sports Network, Sideline Sports. Yes, somehow I have energy still. It's been a whirlwind week. I was supposed to be on with the boys on Puckett on Thursday. I was just too exhausted. A couple of crazy days. Tootsies got us good Wednesday. Down in Nashville, NHL draft, great experience. If you have any questions, go ahead. You're more than welcome to ask them. We may even save it for your podcast as well.
Okay.
Right. But John, welcome back. It's been a while. It's free agency frenzy, July 1st, back to a normal day. And it was short turnaround from the draft.
Yeah. Today was crazy. I mean, we talked before about Twitter was down, everything was happening, and and you know what? I was really curious to see how this was going to go. You know, with the way the cap is, everything came real quick. Free agency was kind of a little weird. Didn't have big names, but what a day! A lot of movement, a lot of things, Jim.
A lot of things. The salary cap's always the big winner in this thing. Speaking with guys on the floor, salary cap is wreaking havoc on everybody. Only going up $1 million, just wreaks havoc on everybody. But you know, it's interesting to see that the teams that had to make moves made moves. Teams that cleaned house went in different directions, but did well. Some teams got older. Some teams ran it back. And I'm going to start with this because I said this on the Full Press Hockey Weekly show, which I just got done with a little bit about an hour ago, because normally what we do there is, we run it in the afternoon, but no, because there was just too much going on. We couldn't run it in the afternoon. So we did a quick recap at the end of the night, which I think was the best thing to do, like we're doing here. I was originally going to try to do this earlier in the day, but again, with so much activity going on, it's just hard to keep up with everything. I'm going to start in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I said this on my show, and I might not be the only one that said this today because I really haven't watched too many shows, to be honest. I've had Trade Center on, but I've been working so much that I really haven't heard anything. I am now convinced Kyle Dubas would have ran it back in Toronto.
Yeah, I am too. I'm convinced he would have too. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. It's funny you say that. I said it here in my own living room because someone on the Trade Center said, well, the only thing the Leafs did was just change general managers. And then I'm thinking to myself, no, the general manager changed himself. It would have been the exact same thing. I agree. They'd have ran it back. Absolutely.
They would have ran it back in Toronto because, look, listening to Craig Button before everything went down at 12 o'clock. They were talking about the goalie carousel and Tristan Jarry and if Ottawa needed a guy. He wasn't sold on Tristan Jarry. I'm not sold on Tristan Jarry. 5 years at 5.375 for a guy that's injury prone.
Well, that's his, Matt Murray is sitting there at 4.7 right now, handcuffing the Leafs a little bit. But Dubas has a hard time getting goalies.
But Dubas also has a hard time negotiating good contracts too.
Yeah. The Leafs used them. The core four, used them. They will never come out from under.
No, I mean, look, I don't mind the Achari signing 3 years. You were wondering what Maple Leaf was going to follow him there. Like you just knew. I don't mind the Nieto signing. I don't mind the Eller signing. I really don't. They needed depth. They needed guys. Dubas makes a great trade for Riley Smith. I think that's going to bolster their top six. He's going to play with Sid. Him and Mike Sullivan, I will say this, Wednesday night, when the trade went down before the draft and, was able to be in on those press conferences after, both guys like Riley Smith and what he can bring. The problem is it's an aging roster. You have a goaltender that's injury prone 5 years. I'm not sold on this Penguins team. I know you can't count them out with Sid and Gino, but this team is older.
Did they bring Graves there too?
They signed Ryan Graves to a
Right.
6-year contract at $4 million.
Yep. Yeah. You know him better than me.
I
Graves.
love look. I like the player. I think he's a good player. I think he's a physical top 4 defenseman.
Right.
He ain't the AAV. I don't really have a problem with 6 years, and I think he has a modified no trade clause too.
I agree. Yeah. Yes.
I just don't, and yet somehow they're still on Erik Karlsson train.
Yeah, I know. That's what I saw myself, and I don't even. First of all, I don't even know why they would take. They already have Letang, don't they? I mean, I don't know. It just feels like a weird fit to have Karlsson there.
Exactly.
I don't know how they would even afford Karlsson. But
well, A, I don't know how they would afford Karlsson too, and B, what's going back because they're handcuffed by a lot of contracts.
Yes, I'm really surprised at what Dubas has done here. I thought for sure he realized he was going. I know you got Sid and I know you got Malkin, right? But you had to go, and Letang, you had to go in there realizing though what needed to be done. Like, and I guess that's your point about them running it back in Toronto. He should. I mean,
there's no reason why Tristan Jarry needed to come back at 5 years. That's the issue. Like, that's the problem. Like, Craig Button said this. He said it multiple times. The Senators need a goaltender. Tristan Jarry wasn't going to be the number 1 goaltender for the Ottawa Senators. That's the issue. That was the problem. And he's just too injury prone. And this team's just good enough to make the playoffs and lose in round 1. Okay, you lose Dumoulin, you lost Zucker. They weren't going to re-sign Zucker. The writing was on the wall when they got Riley Smith. But Tristan Jarry at 5 years. Again, Kemper, Peterson, Campbell, 5 times 5 seems to be the going rate.
I was expecting, I don't know why, I thought maybe Anderson would end up there.
I thought Anderson was going to end up in LA, to be honest.
Yeah. Corpusalo, anything. I did not believe he was bringing Jarry back. I did not either. That stunned me. That was a stunner. I didn't see that. And at the price, the term, the whole thing is just a mess.
Oh, great question by Bill Akins, the host, one of the hosts of Puck It on Let's Talk Pucks. Why the hell did my Penguins re-sign Jarry? Perfect question because look, I'm scratching my head about it. I've watched this guy play. He came into the league. He looked really good. But again, against Montreal, he couldn't get the job done. The Islanders, he comes in and plays Game 7. He looked fine. But again, defensively, breakdowns. This Penguins team is just good enough to get in. You needed to move Raquel. You need to move Granlund contract. Yet, you're not doing it. And I asked the question, Kyle Dubas, and I said this to him when he had his press conference because I was late because I was talking with some other people. I said, Kyle, forgive me if you've answered this question already, but you've gone from Toronto to Pittsburgh. It's a similar situation. Are you ready to make the tough decisions like you said you were in Toronto here in Pittsburgh because the tough decisions need to be done? He had this look on his face that I actually asked a hockey question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's in a worse, in a lot of ways, the situation there's a little tougher, right? Because the aging, I mean, the guys in Toronto, I mean, other than Tavares, it's just it's a little tougher, man. That's a very tricky situation over there with the guys, with the winning, with all of it. They're legends of Pittsburgh. Right. And it's, I don't know, man. Dubas really, I thought his rise to becoming a president of hockey operations seemed pretty quick in my eyes.
Yep. So, and maybe that's why you need a buffer in Toronto. Maybe. Right. Maybe that's the reason Brendan Shanahan's the buffer. Again, I still have, look, the Penguins, Capitals, Bruins, they're going to have to be they're going to have to figure this out because one of them teams ain't making the playoffs. Maybe all three of them teams ain't making the playoffs this year. Just the way the Eastern Conference goes. And to be honest, yeah, I don't get it. It's a head scratcher. It's one of the many head scratchers today on Free Agency Frenzy. I think another head scratcher, and again, I'm not trying to pile on the player. Like I said on my show, the other show I host, one of the other shows I host, many of them. I'm not in the room, never been in the room, but I understand the character of the room. Tell me when Ryan Reeves has ever finished in the same city he signed a multi-year extension.
Right. No, I know. No, I know. He went to Pittsburgh. It didn't work. Right there. It's been
Vegas.
Yeah.
Rangers. Yeah. The list goes on.
And
the list goes on.
I didn't understand it. There's other guys. I liked Hathaway. There was other players that if you wanted that kind of, obviously you want that fight, the grit, whatever you want to call it. But will he even play in the playoffs? That's another concern of mine.
No, he's
you know what I mean. So then he's useless. Then he's useless.
But you had that play in Wayne Simmons, and Wayne Simmons didn't see the playoff. But you and I, how many times? Yeah, but how many times have we and I don't want to beat a dead horse with the Maple Leafs because we could spend an hour on the Maple Leafs. We really can. It's not goaltending. It's not defense. It hasn't been the bottom six. The top guys need to score for Toronto. That's the problem.
Yeah, this Max Domi thing would be actually they really need somebody, to be perfectly honest with you, because to have David Kampf being your number 3 center, probably Holmberg right now, if it was right, Pontus Holmberg would be your 4th line center. I think they really need Domi or something. I was thinking Duchesne. These bonuses have really blew my mind today. I don't recall seeing so many bonuses.
No.
I thought they were incredible with Wheeler and Duchesne and all that stuff, but
I think Domi would be an excellent fit for Toronto. I really do. That's a name I've linked to for a while for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I really like Domi in Toronto for some reason. I just think it's a perfect fit. I know his dad played there, so I don't think there'll be pressure because he's not that player.
Right.
But to see Domi on the back of a Maple Leafs jersey again would be kind of cool. And I think they do need that kind of player. I really do. I think they need, and you saw what he did for Dallas. He did something. He had a good playoff for Dallas. So he can add.
Let me ask you something though, real fast on the Leafs. O'Reilly, it sounded like the way they were trying to make it sound on TSN was he decided he wanted to go to Nashville. I mean, he could have stayed. I was surprised to hear this. So then he just
AV.
Yeah.
AV.
Okay. Right. Because thought, go ahead.
Or if it wasn't the AV, they probably didn't want to give him the 4th year.
Right. Well, I thought this is a silly reason, but I said this, I put it on Twitter. It's the only one I got right on Twitter before Twitter shut down. I had him to Nashville because he likes country music. That was the biggest. Seriously, it sounds silly, but I think he likes.
Matthew Shane loved Nashville too, and he ain't there right now.
Luke Shen loves it.
Yeah, that's a great signing. I put that out there. I was like, that's a great signing. I'm loving what the Nashville Predators are doing. Look, you get rid of Johansson. Yeah, you got to eat money. Okay. And you're paying your back half of it with O'Reilly. That's where the Duchesne money and the Johansson money is. Big deal. So what? I love the Luke Shen signing. They kept up their guys. Barry Trotz wants character guys in the room. I love what they're doing. And they're tearing it down, but they're keeping veteran guys around. Yeah, Trotz has said that, this team is going to be some lean years. So what? He wants character guys with how they win.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume they'll play well. They'll be right in the mix. They will. This team and him, they'll be in the mix. Shen, I was happy for him. 2.7. That's good.
Good deal.
Good for him. And he gets that'll be it. His last contract he deserves. He's been playing at $800,000 for I don't know how many years now. So
yeah, that's a perfect fit for him in Nashville. That's a great fit. Same with O'Reilly. That's a perfect fit
It
for
is.
what the Preds are doing. I love it with the young kids coming up. Perfect guys to be there with O'Reilly, Shen, guys like that. That's perfect. I mean, look, and again, the Klingberg signing for Toronto, a little much on the AAV for me because I think for what some guys had signed for, you could have used some money, some of that money to bolster another area. Again, they're handcuffed because they didn't buy out Matt Murray. I'm just not sure. I'm just still not sold on this Maple Leafs team. And a tidbit of information picking up, and I think you've heard a bunch of this, but Austin Matthews is a businessman. He understands the cap's going up, and he's a smart man, and it's a business. He, as I wrote on NHLRumors.com, I'll go find the article. He will max out twice. He's going for 2 contracts.
Right.
He's going for 2 contracts.
I will say this. If it's what's it going to be, 3 years probably, this one?
3 to 5.
At what? What's your age? What do you think? 15? That can't be 15.
No, it's 13 something.
13-7?
13-7, I think. It's 13-7.
Well, and you almost Mike Johnson today was arguing on the panel saying that he's giving up money. He's actually leaving money on the table then if it's 13-7.
No, he's not. You know why? Because in 5 years, when the cap goes up by $20 million, you're going to get 16 to 18 million.
Honestly, the Leaf team is flawed, and it was built by somebody who left to Pittsburgh. It's flawed. It's horribly flawed. These guys are not. Marner held them hostage. They'll do it again.
Nylander, you don't think again, and this would be the last thing for the Leafs. You don't think Nylander's not going to sit out again? He did it. He did it.
He'll play this year and just go. You know what I mean? That'll be it. He'll walk like Tavares did.
Yo, too many. Yo, Billy, too many. There were too many. There were too many to name down there, man.
Wow. Bill Garrett looked like he was shot. Holy cow! When he went up
dude, Tootsie's kept the boys going. I'll tell you that. That place kept the boys going. I was fun. I got a quick story. So I went out Thursday night. Met up with a couple of guys that I met down in Nashville, and we were walking. We were in Tootsie's, and we gave the place. We keep giving them shout outs because they kept the men and the boys going. Go downstairs, just grab my seltzer water, and I'm paying for it. And there's a bachelorette party behind me. A couple of girls are like, "You look tired." I was like, "You don't know the half of it," and they're like, just relax the rest of the night. I was like, "Yep." Where the boys are upstairs, we're chilling, and ain't gonna be no partying for us tonight, because it's been a long, long week in Nashville.
Yeah, long week. You got
long week.
That was it was long sitting at home, and the thing that was good about it, though, and I'll give you, and I thank you guys like you. It was a weird one because usually these are weekend things, not during the week, so it was odd. You got people working, you got things, so. Thankfully, you kept everyone up to date before Twitter decided to do what it does.
Bro, dude, I went to bed before 12:30 last night. My Twitter was fine. I woke up this morning. It was haywire.
Yeah, I was losing it. I couldn't believe
I couldn't believe it. I had like 6 devices going to find one that was like working like the old Twitter, and I finally got my computer to work with the old Twitter. It was crazy. The 2 most important days. I said to Darren Millard today, I said, it couldn't have waited till tomorrow.
Right.
Like tomorrow I want to give a shit.
Right. No, you wouldn't care. No, that was the most unbelievable thing. It started for me at about 8 a.m. because I got up early. I'm looking around. I'm like, I can't. What's going on? The Twitter outage. And Elon's doing what he's doing to us.
Yeah, exactly. So, but so we beat the Carolina. I want to talk about Carolina because I like what they did too. We beat the Toronto horse enough. Let's talk about what Carolina did. I love what they did. I was very surprised though that they brought the 3-headed monster back.
Oh, Ranta and Anderson. Yeah,
Ranta, Anderson, and then because you have Kochetkov there.
Yes. Yeah. I was surprised too. I thought Anderson was on his way out. I really did.
I thought he was on his way out. I thought maybe New Jersey. I thought maybe
Mhm.
LA would get him, but no, he stays in Carolina. Eric Stahl stays there. Jesper Foss stays there. I like the signing of Dmitry Orlov, to be honest, to that defense. But what does that mean for Brett Pesci? Because they're also in on Carlson.
2 years, right? 2 years.
Yeah.
Orlov 7.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
AV. Yeah, Pesci's got to be. Geez, you would think he would be on the move with
Right?
Carlson and I would assume he should be packing his bags.
You would think, but
You would think.
again, Tom Dundon spends the money finally because he had to. He had no other choice, or else his team is going to disappear. And oh, by the way, and next week Tony Giangelo becomes a Carolina Hurricane again.
Wow. Yeah.
And you know why? So you know why, right?
No, why?
So originally, before the draft, Tony D'Angelo was supposed to be traded.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go back to Carolina. However, because it's the same fiscal year, you are not allowed to be traded to the team you were traded from in the same fiscal year.
Oh, geez. Didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I picked that one up down. Yeah.
Look, and I want to say something about my guy Bunting. I'm happy for that.
Great signing too.
But that's what I'm saying. To $4.5 million.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You don't need to sign Klingberg at that. You could have brought Bunting back.
Right. I will say this though. Buyer beware on Bunting if you expect 26, 27 goals. I'm gonna say, and I will also say, I've watched every game he's ever played. I believe he's not what you. He's not a physical presence for sure. It's different. I'm going to pretend I got tripped, that kind of stuff. And then
maybe Rob Brendan, maybe he buys into what Rob Brendamore's doing.
That's the thing. That to me is the key. Him. I thought that's why that was good. Brindamore, I think, could really turn this guy into something more than what Sheldon Keefe could do, because it is too bad. You're right. I don't understand. I'm off the Leafs. Screw them. But I mean, I'm glad Bunting is there, and I'm really glad that he made that kind of money. Good for him.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
Absolutely. Me too. Bruins sneaky good signings, bringing back Lucic, JVR, and Geeky. I think Geeky's a good signing for them.
Yeah, JVR, Lucic. I think Shattenkirk's there too now.
Shattenkirk too. Yeah, Shatty Deuces is there too.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that was good. I mean the Bruins did. Yeah, I thought they did well. I love to see JVR play there. I think he's still got something left.
Well, think about that division. You got JVR going up against the Leafs. You got Lucic and Revo. Maybe we get one square off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Tampa's got who they got. What's that, Janot?
Sherry, Janot.
I like that too,
I think Tampa took a step back, to be honest. I think the cap is hurting a lot of teams. They lost Killorn. But again, Killorn got paid way too much money for way too much term.
He sure did. He got paid a lot. I thought it was out of hand. I thought Gudas really broke the bank.
Yeah, that was dumb.
From Florida.
Whoa. I would have been okay with those moves for Anaheim if they were ready to take the next step.
Me too. Yeah.
But they're not.
No, I know. That's what it felt like they should be with those moves.
But they're not. Because you didn't qualify Max Comtois.
They're not. They're not ready. This was a weird one. It was as weird as Arizona giving Kerfoot. I don't even know how much they gave him, $5 million a year. Yeah, whatever the hell they did to him.
That was dumb.
I thought Tampa. It's funny though watching them, right? How it always goes. Now they'll try Sheary and Glendening. It's you know what I mean. It's Colton. It's whoever it may be, but they always are plugging in. I mean, these are like dollars. That's a terrible way to put it, but it's like different. It's like lighter versions of everything as we keep going down the line. So. I do like Glendening and I like Sheary, but not the same.
Yeah, but again, look, Tampa, I think they had a modern day dynasty, what they did. I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. I think Florida's taking a step back this year. I like the OEL signing after he got bought out. I thought that was a good signing by them. One of the first ones. I think that's a good signing. But I'm just surprised with the, because the injuries, they still have to address their depth on defense too.
How did you feel? I got to ask you on the teams that are trying to fight in the East: Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo. How'd you feel about them three that are, they're right there?
All right, so I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't like the goaltending signing of Jonas Corposalo for
I didn't think so.
5 years at $4 million.
Right.
I don't like it. I think he's a quality goaltender. Don't get me wrong. I think they needed a goaltender like that if they want to take the next step. And Tom Forsberg is great. It's a good backup. But again, the term.
Right. Yeah, the 5 years.
It's a little much for me. It's a little much for me. I don't know what Detroit was doing. I think they just went crazy, too crazy. I like the trade for Klim Kostin. Obviously, they bought out Yamamoto. Justin Hall, really. I mean, I thought they saw enough of him to realize he's not a great defenseman.
He's at 3. Yeah, God, 3.5. They paid him too a year.
Good for him. Fine. I think their two good signings Detroit made were Daniel Sprong and JT Compher.
Yeah.
And Gostisbehere. I think Gostisbehere fit in with them too.
Yeah, I James Reimer, I think, also went there. I didn't even know he was still playing, but good for him.
Good for him. As far as Buffalo goes, Eric Johnson, Connor Clifton, these are good signings. Cliffy Hockey, Jersey boy, shout out. Know the family, good kid. But again, they didn't upgrade their goaltending.
Yeah.
Like, for me, Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo are all right there, but they need a goaltender. It's like New Jersey, right? New Jersey did awesome. Like Tom Fitzgerald, trades for Tyler Toffoli, re-signs Jesper Bratt, re-signs Timo Meier. You keep Bastian and McLeod under contract. You trade for Colin Miller as a depth guy because you're not sure Nemec. You can have never too many area of this team's ready to go. Imagine if they get a goaltender.
Oh my God! Yeah, if they get Hellebuck, everyone's in trouble. They're in trouble without it. I mean, to be honest, this team is built well. It's where the Leafs are built poorly.
This team is built well. Tom Fitzgerald, when the cap goes up, every contract will be a steal.
Should have been GM of the year. Really should have been even before last year. He'll be this year, whatever.
It was funny. I got him to crack up because I called him the people's GM, the fans' GM choice, the uncrowned GM. There was a wrestling reference with the Acclaimed. I got him to crack up, and he's like, I can't disparage any of my colleagues. They were all deserving, but I appreciate the fans' support.
Yeah, no, he deserved it. This team's built, man. That's what I mean. Look at how they built. There's a bunch of teams, not just the Maple Leafs. They're just built poorly, and they're going to fall. It's like a house of cards. And Devils are man. They kept
Devils are ready, man. Devils are ready to take the next step.
Yeah, they're a scary team right now. They're slotting players. The players are buying in. The whole thing. People want to go to New Jersey. So I mean, it's because they're going to win.
Exactly, they are going to win. Exactly.
What is Buffalo going to do though? I'm trying to think of goalies that are available at this point. They're not going Hellebuck. There's no way Hellebuck would want to be a part of that.
I don't know. Well, you don't know. You don't know.
Because it'd be 1 year, and then that'd be it for Hellebuck in Buffalo, I would assume.
Unless they re-sign him. Look. I love, let's be honest. Like Chicago, I know everybody wants to talk about Bedard and going number one. That's great. But I love how they're insulating the kid. You bring in a Corey Perry. You bring in a Taylor Hall. You bring in Nick Foligno, you sign a Ryan Donato. Chicago, I know there's going to be some struggles, but the kid is insulated.
And Chicago's they'll make something out of that too, because I imagine at the deadline they could trade Foligno and Perry and
maybe Hall and Taylor Hall, maybe.
Yeah. No, they've done good. I mean, I'm curious to see how well this kid is. I mean, I was going to ask you that. I mean, where is he? Is he McDavid to you? Is it like that?
I think he's a 60 to 70 point player this year.
Wow. That's big. Yeah, that's good. I know Jeff O'Neill's trying to say 100, but
I don't think he's a Connor McDavid yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. But I mean, what the other one I wanted to ask you before I was curious is hold on. I lost my train of thought. The West, because I like your guy, by the way. I wanted the Leafs to grab Miles Wood.
No, you don't want Miles Wood.
You didn't like Wood? I loved
No,
Wood.
you don't want Miles Wood.
Give me what Wood's issues are, because I like
Okay.
him. I thought there was some speed. He looked
right. He's got speed. He's great. He's a great skater. He's a straight line skater. That's it. That's all he does. He's a straight line skater and takes a dumb penalty. That's it.
You know what? You see, because I just saw the speed when they played the Leafs. He looked great. I saw him, and I'm like, holy cow, look at this guy. You know,
I still can't believe Colorado gave him 6 years.
I know.
That's so stupid. Like
some of it, yeah.
Like that's so dumb. Like good for him, but that's dumb. I will say, you know what's an underrating signing Colorado did? Drouin.
What's that?
Drouin. Because if he plays with McKinnon, look out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought so too. And I noticed there was another one that I was surprised.
I like Duchesne to Dallas. Dallas Duchesne is really good.
Yeah, I like that. And I just saw Hathaway, my guy. He went to Philadelphia before we came on air.
Yeah, that's a good signing too.
I like him a lot. I'd have rather had him than Reeves in Toronto.
You know what? I forgot to mention this one. Florida Mikkola. That's a nice contract for him.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's a nice contract.
Let me ask you about that. Let me ask you about the Rangers. What'd you think of their day?
Not good. I you know what? Split 50-50. I'll give it 50-50. Because you know what? I like the Blake Wheeler signing. I think he's a good depth right winger. Could play in all three phases. Play on power plays, a different shot on the other side. Gives you veteran leadership. He's not going to be asked to do too much. It gives the kids still time to develop on the right wing side. They went bargain basement. I like Bonino. Gustafson's a good ad on the back end. Pitlick, fine. Belize, okay. The issue I have is a goaltender.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I love Jonathan Quick. I think he's a good dude. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's awesome. And I'm just being an analyst here. I don't agree with the contract. I don't agree with the signing. I think there were better options out there. Considering Cam Talbot got $100,000 more to go to LA, I think the Rangers could have brought him back to be the backup. God forbid something happens to Shesterkin, because you saw what happened in Vegas. When their goaltenders went down, they went to Aiden Hill. Right. They didn't go to the guy that won 2 Stanley Cups. They went to the guy, even in front of that defense, they still went to Aiden Hill. And Aiden Hill got paid like he deserves it. Aiden Hill got paid. And Barbashev got paid too. And great on them. And you knew that was coming. I told you both on this show, on other shows. I said Barbashev was staying in Vegas.
Yeah. And I'm Aiden Hill 2 years, right? For Aiden Hill?
At 2 years at 4, just under 5.
I want to ask you about someone else though, and it's in your, in your division there, the Islanders. What'd you think of that? Big term, a lot of, oh my God, Engvall got 7 years.
Lou, I don't know what Lou's doing. Look, there's good Lou and then there's bad Lou Lamoriello. Today was bad Lou Lamoriello. Okay. Yeah. Lou on draft day 2 to get rid of Josh Bailey with a 6th-round pick to Chicago for Chicago to buy out Bailey. He doesn't have to buy him out. He doesn't have to have that money on his books. Great move. Then you sign Peter Engvall to 7 years at $3 million. You sign Scott Mayfield 7 years at 3-1. You sign Sorokin at 8.25. Now the goaltender, fine. He's your future goaltender. He's the goaltender. He's the guy. He's going to be a Vezina Trophy winner. And then you sign Varlamov to 4 years. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, Pierre Engvall was a shocker to me. Him and Mayfield at 7. That's
but that's a Lou guy. That's a Lou guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Lou guy. The Islanders are in on Adam Henrique. That's a Lou guy. But this team's still getting older and it's not getting younger, and they're not addressing goal scoring. That's what the problem was. The Islanders probably went like 0 for 17 against Carolina. If they get 5 power play goals, not even, they're in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Carolina doesn't make it to the Eastern Conference Final.
Let me ask you this too. While I got you here, I got to ask. Winnipeg, how'd you feel like they dealt with today?
I like the goaltender, Brossoit. Here's the thing with Winnipeg. So here's the thing. I think here's a couple things. I'm going to this is coming from being there at the draft and understanding this is a business. The salary cap is wreaking havoc. The deals that you think we're going to get are not coming because teams that like Alex DeBrincat, for instance, or Connor Hellebuck, the value in return is just not there. Before, teams wanted picks and prospects and stuff. Right. Ottawa and Winnipeg are still in contention for playoff spots. They're going to want players back. So the Dubois trade to LA, and I think Dubois got too much money over 8 years. Even our buddy Zig said so. He says like, whoa, like. Dude.
And I'm a big fan of Dubois too.
I'm a big fan of Dubois too. Look, the Kings are set down the middle. Alex Iafallo is a loss. Gabe Velarde, we really don't know. He's streaky. Rasmus Kupari, their depth at defense is known. That means Brant Clark's coming up because Dursey went to Arizona. Right. But so they didn't get the big value in return. They only got a second round pick. That deal's better if they get a first round pick, but they didn't. They got serviceable players for Dubois. Hellebuck wants what he wants. He wants that 8. If the Devils can get him under 8 or near 8, fine, great. On a 4-year term, I'm not giving him a max deal. Sorry, I'm just not. Not at his age. Because the back end's going to be so bad. But I agree with Jamie McLennan. The goaltender, if he's a stud goaltender, deserves to get paid what he deserves to get paid. Sorokin deserves to get paid. Winnipeg got what they got. Look, they got Brossoit back. Okay. The problem is they don't have to trade Connor Hellebuck right now. Right. Like the Ottawa Senators don't have to trade Alex DeBrincat today. And again, I will re-stress this out. If I'm Ottawa, I'm saying to DeBrincat, give it a couple of months. Let's see what we can do now with this roster, with the goaltender and all that stuff. If you still want out after 2 months, fine, we'll trade you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised he wanted out. I was shocked when I had no inkling that was coming. You know what I mean? I just felt he was, what's he, 24 years old at this point?
Look,
so I was surprised by him.
He's not signing long-term in Ottawa. Dorian's made that clear. But he's just not going to trade away him for nothing. And same with Hellebuck, same with Carlson. These guys are going to and Winnipeg doesn't have to trade him now. They can wait. Yeah, and they can wait. And I think Cheveldayoff will. I believe he will wait. Well, there's no reason why not. You don't have to trade him now. You don't have to.
No, you don't have to at all. And I think that though the Devils, what would it be? What would you want? 5 years, $9 million, 9?
No, I would go 4 years.
4 for 9, maybe.
Yeah, 4 for 9. No, not even. I go 4 at 7.5.
If they get him, honestly, they probably. I mean, obviously you got to play the games. I mean, we got to play it on the ice. But at this point, they would be as good as any team I could see in the East to win the conference. If
they're the best team if they get Connor Hellebuck, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, they would be. Absolutely.
They're the best if they get the goaltender.
Because right now, who is the goaltenders? It's Schmid and
Vanacek still.
Vanacek. But I like Schmid.
But if they get Connor Hellebuck, you know who's going back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious if that's inevitably where he ends up, because I got to tell you, I don't see a better fit anywhere.
I don't see a better fit either. Again, is Saros in play? Is Gibson in play? Is there a cheaper option? Tom Fitzgerald did not speak today. So he's definitely working on something.
Let me ask you something. And I know we're probably up against time and all that, but I wanted to ask you about Todd Bertuzzi and guys like that, Tarasenko. They're still out there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Bertuzzi waits till tomorrow, and I think Tarasenko's weighing his options. I think a lot of teams might be scared off about what he's asking for.
What's his ask? What's he asking for? 7?
7, I think.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
But again, Florida made an interesting move. They cleared cap space, sending Anthony Duclair to San Jose. So I'm wondering if they're trying to make a play for Bertuzzi and or Tarasenko.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that. That snuck in here sometime around dinner time or something.
Yeah.
Where they sent him to San Jose.
So Florida's making a push for one of those two players.
Because those are the guys. I mean, and Patrick Kane, forget it. That won't be till probably
look, everybody could put out their own free agency board and top 10 guys and this and that. I'm not disparaging anybody else who does all these boards. I get it. Everybody has their own opinion on who's their top 10. Mine did not have Patrick Kane and Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci on it, just because of the unknown factors.
I'm the same. I was definitely the same. I'm right with you. I didn't have them. And Kane, it's just 6 months. I don't know how many months.
If not more.
Yeah. So I mean, he can't. Nothing's going to happen. And Bergeron, you're right. I didn't have those guys in there. I mean, now,
and I have a sneaky good feeling that those two are not returning.
Yeah. Tarasenko wants 7. Didn't he just have 7? What was it now? 7.5?
Look, I think he's trying to weigh all his options too. Like, where's the best fit for his family?
He's gonna have to take a little haircut though. I can't believe he's gonna come with 7.5. You know what I mean? 7.5 again.
Look,
who does that?
Again, does Florida take a chance? Look, I will say this: if Florida lands Tyler Bertuzzi and you have Bertuzzi and Tkachuk that you have to go up against, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, very tough.
It's very, very tough.
Very tough, man. Well, we'll see if Max Domi ends up in Toronto.
I mean, that would be a nice fit. I will say that's a nice fit for him.
He can wear 28 like his dad.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, like, I will say this, like, with Colorado, what they did, Johansson, Preds move him out. That was solid. I like what Montreal did acquiring, what's his face? Alex Newhook.
Right.
And he fits in with that group. Ross Colton in a trade to Colorado. I thought that was big for them. Again, what teams didn't, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the trade market is, because the Islanders are not done, but they're going to make a hockey trade.
Right.
What it is, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have. There's a lot of teams that can't be done. Like, I look at Buffalo, they got to know they need a goalie. They've got to know they need
a goaltender. Straight up facts. They need a goaltender.
Because if they go with these two guys, that's dangerous. I mean, well, we've said this. It'd be dangerous to Levi.
Look, if they go with these two guys, they're not ready to take the next step.
No, they wouldn't be, and that's too bad, because they some players are like, what's his name? Why is it Rasmus? Dahlin? You figure by now he needs to be in the playoffs. I mean, that's where you become a star. It's like 8 years since this guy, no playoff appearances. Eventually, you get pissed off and you want to be in, because that's where you become. Like I said, that's where you really become a star.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way. I love, like, a lot of the stuff that comes up on Twitter. Like, guys are just, like, making shit up now.
Are they?
Like, one of the accounts I follow, massive trade between Maple Leafs and Canadians. Yeah, right. Like, get out of here.
What would that even be? What are you talking about?
So, what am I talking? What is that? Like, Caulfield for Nylander? Like, come on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Nylander for everyone.
Nylander forever. Look, I will say this. I don't think William Nylander is going to be a Maple Leaf after his contract expires. I know there's all this talk from the Toronto insiders that says he's going to stay. He ain't staying. Tree Living should be. I mean, I'm sure he knows. I got to imagine he's done his job and he knows what he can get. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's found out. Bro, Nylander knows what he's going to get. Like, Craig Button said this. Does the Timo Meier contract set the bar for Nylander? No. But is that going to be his ass? Probably. Is Nylander a better player than Meier? Yeah. So he's going to be like, well, Timo Meier got this. Why can't I get 9.5?
Yeah.
Why can't I get 10? I'm a better player.
they got to move him along. This is here we are. I mean, we're at the horrible team, a team that was horribly built. Talk about tough decisions. Well, Nylander's making it easy for them. Honestly,
Right.
I'm sure there's a taker. There's gotta be somebody who would be glad to have Nylander on their top line. So
exactly.
Do it, because otherwise he's going to walk. It's going to be Tavares all over again.
Right. Exactly.
So
I don't know. It's crazy. Look, the trades and everything. Look, things are winding down. It was a busy day, and it'll be things that are going to be trickling in. But as I expected, some guys are going to take their time and they'll move, and they'll sign tomorrow. And like we said, I figured Bertuzzi and Tarasenko would have a couple situations like we saw with Parise and Suter. Just take your time and think about things.
Yeah. My guy is out there still. I've always liked Evan Rodriguez. I know he's not a big deal, but man, I like him.
He's a solid player. Solid player. I thought he's always been a solid player in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Colorado. Thought he was a good player.
If he could make someone happy, he'd make me happy. I'd love to have him on my bottom six. So
yeah, he's a good player. So look, there's still a lot of action to be done. Free agents. Look, today's just free agency frenzy. This is it. Things will trickle in over the next couple of weeks. But again, it's the big day's over. Anybody puts out winners and losers, we're not going to know for a while. So it's clickbait at this point. So
yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
But guys, this has been Let's Talk Pucks here on Let's Talk Sports and Sideline Sports. I've been your host, Jim Biringer, along with my co-host, John Restaino. Check us again real soon for the next episode as we break down some more off-season, and we'll get into more stories from the NHL draft. It was a fun one for sure.
Had to be. It had to be incredible.
It was fun. We'll get this. We'll get the story time soon.
Okay, good.
But everybody have a good night. Enjoy 4th of July. Happy Canada Day to everybody as well. Forgot to mention that off the top. Bobby Bonilla Day, Rick DiPietro. And again, enjoy, celebrate responsibly, and good night, Canada.